Alright, so today is a very special day because today we are going to be officially starting our My Team Career Mode series. And without wasting any time at all, let's get straight into it. So, we will be doing the newcomer. I think that just makes sense. You always want to start at the back in these. Now, I was considering doing a full season, but I am going to do the custom season. I'm going to do 16 races. This is so that I actually have a chance to finish these series. I mean, if I do a 24 race calendar, if I try and complete all 10 seasons, it would be 240 episodes, so bit too much, so I'm gonna go for just 160. And now we need to actually pick the calendar. Okay, so I've deselected all tracks, and now I can actually pick the ones I want. So I definitely want Bahrain. Yeah, we have Jeddah, we have Australia. Might be controversial. I think I'm gonna leave out Japan. I sort of want to pick, like, actually good racing tracks. Let me go through the calendar. What's an actual good racing track? You gotta go Abu Dhabi, just for this first season, for the season finale. Las Vegas, Brazil, definitely. We'll do Singapore, not the most racy track, but I do like it. Baku, Monza, Spa, definitely. Hungary, sure. Spain, Canada. Oh, now, I think I might leave Monaco out just because it might be a bit of a boring episode. We'll do Imola, and we have got 2 more tracks to add. What should we go for? I think I'm going to go for Texas and Mexico. So that is our 16 race calendar. Bahrain, Jeddah, Melbourne, Imola, Canada, Spain, Budapest, Spa, Monza, Baku, Singapore, Texas, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, and Abu Dhabi. Alright, so I've finished doing all the settings, so now we can actually go and make a driver, and I'm just going to copy what I had last year, because it's fine, do you know what I mean? The avatar doesn't really mean a whole lot. Right, so it's officially time to enter my team name. Now, last year, I just called it quite simplistically FootCrim F1 Team. However, today, and for this series, I'm actually going to put in a custom sponsor name, and I'm so excited to show you what it is. And here it is. So, the team name for this My Team Career Mode series is going to be PG Tips FootCrim F1 Team. We have got, I can't even read what that says. That's our primary sponsor. We need to finish 8th or better in the Constructors' Championship for a nice little 3.5 million at the end of the season. We're going for a Ferrari engine as it has the most performance and it sounds nice. And our teammate is going to be none other than Jack Doohan. Now, I don't even know if I can do this. I mean, it says plus 500k, but the man that speaks says that we can't afford it. So what happens if I click confirm? I can do that. Okay, nice. I've just been blatantly lied to. This geezer speaking said that I can't afford what I just selected, then I can. Okay, cool. Alright, so here's a little opening cutscene. Now, I've kept the livery a little bit of a secret. You can see the badge and the team colours around, and now we can listen to none other than Natalie Pinkham. And here is the livery reveal. This is one of the nicest cards I have ever, like, put together, like the paint colors and everything. I am beyond excited to drive this car, and it's also just, I think it was quite unique in a way that no other team on the grid really has this color scheme, so it sticks out a bit more. I mean, last year my car was literally orange and like black and blue, which is just a McLaren. This time my car should be very distinguishable. Very, very cool cutscene here. This is obviously the first time I'm seeing this because I've not played the game before, and it does look very cool. And there it is. We have got a silver and black primary colors and then a little bit of a pink accent as well. And you can also see the wheel covers have a nice design as well. This car looks incredible. Right, so this is where they do this interview thing. Now, for this, I'm just going to select stuff that helps my team gain a little performance. That's the thing you can do. If you select the right options, you give your car a little bit of a performance boost before the season, so that's what I'm going to do. And there we have it. So interview done. I basically just selected all aerodynamic and chassis options, and here we are in the menu of My Team Career Mode. So, of course, yes, man, I know how this game works. Thank you very much. I've had 80 episodes last year. Right, so let's start off with some activities. So, I'm definitely going to do the training camp. I want Jack Doohan to be as strong as possible from the early part of this season. Now, unfortunately, I can't actually do one of these now, which is a bit cringe. I suppose I'll have to go for one of these, although to be fair, we're going to be so far at the back of the grid. Actually, you know what? No. we're gonna be like the bottom team. It doesn't matter. Jack Doohan could be the next Michael Schumacher. He ain't scoring points in this car unless some miracle happens. So actually, I'm gonna take that off, and I'm actually gonna do one of these. I'm gonna go for the powertrain and durability departments. And wow, so you can either do a department focus or one of these things. You can't do both. That's a bit annoying, since there's still 5 days left. If they added one more day, you could have got one of these done. But anyway, that's the schedule. Power and durability focus. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care about money or acclaim. I just want my car to be as strong as possible. Now, looking here, we can actually see I'm not the slowest car on the grid. We are actually equal on pace with the Haas, and we are a little bit away from the RB and the Alpine, and we already start off with 1,000 resource points, so let's put some of that to use. I think I'm just going to go for what the game recommends me, and they're recommending I go for a rear floor under tray. So let's do that. 30% failure chance. That's fine. And there we go. Right, it's now time to head to Bahrain for the opening round of not only the season, but My Team Career Mode. Let's go. Well, hang on. Got a little cutscene here. Hang about. It's just a load of people typing. Wow. That's really cool. Alright, that was it. Nice. W. And here we are for practice. Now, I do want to point out that just for this episode only, I will be actually doing practice just so I can get familiar with the car. But then after this episode, I'll be skipping practice entirely and going straight to quali. But just for this one time, for the very first episode, I'm going to do some practice. And here we go for my first ever time driving the My Team Career Mode car. Honestly, the car looks way uglier than I thought, now that I'm actually in, like, a normal viewing, but it's alright, it'll do, do you know what I mean? Now, of course, you know, I've already made loads of videos, well, 2 videos, talking about how horrible this game's handling is, so that is going to be a teething issue throughout the first, like, you know, up to, like, 10 or 15 episodes of this, is just the handling is shocking, but yeah. Right, so all I'm going to do for some practice is I'm just going to turn on a hot lap and do a quali sim, and that is literally it. So here we go, my first ever lap in the PG Tips Foot Crew F1 Team car. Here we go. Right, so going into turn 1, I don't even know when to brake, I'm just going to do it there. Okay, that was actually a bit early, that's good to know. Now, I believe you can go on throttle a bit early. Whoa, okay, and I've already, yeah, okay. First corner, and I've spun. Okay, so continuing on, next corner. Okay, so the first corner, you have to brake later than it tells you, and then the other corner, you have to brake earlier than it tells you. That's always good to know. Okay, there, you've got to brake way later. Wow, the driving line is really, really bad. Every single corner is slightly different when you have to brake. I know for a fact here, you have to brake really early. You always have to do that. But now we're making our way to the end of Sector 2. Next corner. Okay, not bad. It's quite difficult to tell with how bad the handling is, whether a lap is actually decent or not. I mean, fast is Sector 2, but I'm probably the first person doing a lap, so that doesn't really mean much. Round the final corner to complete my first ever lap in this career mode. And what is that tyre wear? What? I'm sorry. 14% wear in one lap. What? Okay, that's very concerning. Right, that's all the practice I can be asked to do. Let's get straight into qualifying. Why not? And here we are for my very first qualifying session. Now, I should note that last year, obviously, I did a short qualifying, whereas in this series and all my career modes this year, I'm going to be doing a full quali, and let's just say it would be an absolute Christmas miracle if I actually managed to get out of Q1. Now, I am running quite a barbaric setup. I've got the downforce like this. If you don't know in this game, you can run exceptionally low rear wings, and the car's actually quite quick, so that's what I've done. Right, so here we are on track. Now, one thing I've noticed is that you can actually use overtake ERS in a qualifying lap, which is quite weird. But here we go. So, I just finished my first practice run. This is my first qualifying run. And yeah, we can actually use overtake ERS on a quali lap. That's strange. Anyway, first corner, I know I could brake a little bit later. That's a little bit wide, but honestly, not too bad. Try and get on throttle as early as possible. Okay. Dump some more of my overtake ERS. Into the next corner, I know I have to brake a little bit earlier. That was still a little bit too late, but that's fine. And through the first sector, I am 4 tenths up on the next car in P18. Yuki Tsunoda now, of course, we need top 16 to have a chance of getting through. But that is very promising signs. I've always been a qualifying guy. As much as I don't want to be, I just am. Through Sector 2, I've only gained 9 milliseconds on Kevin Magnussen, who is now P18. Now, I'm still just over 3 tenths up. And I accidentally had my overtake on for the majority of Sector 2, so that's going to hinder me a little bit. But around the final corner, we got an okay exit. What's it going to be for our very first lap time in qualifying in this career mode? It's a 1 minute 30.4. It bets us P14 on the grid, and we could be well on our way to a Q2 entrance. And we are only 25 milliseconds away from Lance Stroll's time, and I think 25 milliseconds is very findable. Okay, so final run of Q1. Now, I only have a 2-tenth gap to the elimination zone, so I'm definitely going to have to find some time on this lap. So here we go. Right, so somehow I've lost up to half a second through the first corner. I'm not entirely sure how that's even happened, but we move. Through Sector 2, I've lost even more time, and honestly, I'm so confused as to where. However, I ran a big run through there with some ERS usage. There's a little chance here. Round the final corner, it needs to go big. And it has done. And oh my goodness, I have found a 10th on the final corner. Shut up, I just got into Q2 on my very first quali. Oh my... There is no way that I have just qualified P11 in my very first qualifying session. Oh my goodness. P11 for Crimfoot Foot Crim, Footamus Crimatus the third in the PG Tips Foot Crim F1 team. And I'm through to Q2. Jack Doohan, 3 tenths away from qualifying P21. That's really bad, actually. He's 3 tenths off Sargent. But yeah, only 8 tenths off the leaders, 4 tenths clear of the elimination. What a time to be alive. On to Q2.
That's us down into
right, so for Q2, I'm just going to do the 1 lap, and here it comes. The reason I'm only doing 1 lap is I'd like to save a set of softs, and let's be honest, I'm not getting into Q3. So here we go. Through Sector 1, I am 3 tenths up on P12. This can't be happening, surely. Through Sector 2, what? Shut up, no. I mean, I knew this lap felt good, but no way. Around the final corner, decent exit, and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Come on! I can't be too loud because it's 2 in the morning. But oh my goodness, there is no way that I have just qualified for Q3 in my first ever quali session in my team career mode. By just over a tenth. Footamus Crimatus the third is Q3 bound. Right, I'm never going to doubt myself ever again. Right, issue is, though, I only have 1 set of softs left, and I do want to save that for the race, so I am going to, I'm going to use a used set. I know that's probably not, like, the fun thing to do. The fun thing would to go on new soft, maybe qualify P8 or P9, but realistically, I do want to have a decent race as well. Do you know what I mean? Okay, Q3 time. My tyres are very worn, so this is probably the most obvious P10 ever seen, but might as well do a lap anyway, eh? Let's go. Through Sector 1, I'm going to be just under a tenth behind Lewis Hamilton. That is a very respectable Sector 1 from me. Okay, through Sector 2, I'm going to be, yeah, okay. That's a bit more realistic. Half a second down as I go off track a little bit, but I am still over the moon with my performance here today in Bahrain. Round the final corner, my tyres are shattered. Use the final amounts of my ERS. across the line. And that is a P10 in my very first quali session in my team career mode. That is actually insane. Ended up qualifying, well, 6 tenths behind P9, so even on a new set, I was not getting into those lap times. That's just that, they're gone. But P10 for the first race of the season. Let's get straight to Grand Prix Sunday and cook. And here we are on Sunday evening for the opening race of the My Team Career Mode series. Now, I've already been recording for nearly an hour. I really want to get this race over and done with, I'm not going to lie. And speaking of the race, I have not done a race in this game yet. I've done a 5-lap race at Spa, and that's it. So this is my first actual long distance race. Now, I am concerned about the tyres, because in qualifying, after only 1 or 2 laps, my soft tyres were already in the like 14-20% tyre wear, which is very concerning. I'm hoping in the race the tyre wear is a bit less. So here's where you can see the tyre wear is really bad. I mean, even just doing 8 laps on the mediums, the game is predicting my tyre wear will decrease at about 7% per lap. Oh, that's a lot, really. Maybe this year, your tyres just are supposed to get more worn. But anyway, I think we are going to go for a medium-hard strategy. And I think this is good. I mean, 8 laps on the mediums, 12 on the hards. If the tyres ain't horrible, I could do an extra lap on the mediums. Now, of course, we are going to lower the fuel. I should only need, like, I'll play it safe for this opening race. We'll just do that much fuel. And I think we are ready for the opening race of this season. Let's go. And here we go for the opening race of My Team Career Mode. And we are off. Leclerc with an absolute stinker. But we are away. Wheel to wheel with Leclerc. Stroll with an absolute flyer. Into turn 1, wheel to wheel with Charles Leclerc. Now, the traction is really poor in this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if I spin on lap 1. But I do manage to hold on to P10. Right, I want to be perfectly honest, I'm probably not going to play this game much. For context, I've done this race start 4 times, and in each of all those starts, I kept spinning in the most stupid ways. This handling model is one of the worst things in gaming, so I doubt I'm actually going to last long playing this. Leclerc's just gone. Like, I mean, obviously the Ferrari is a top tier car. I'm in the worst car here, so he's just going to be gone. And I'm not expected to be able to actually fight for P10 and points. I'm probably going to drop back considerably, as I always do. So yeah, Verstappen, fastest lap on the opening lap at 32. Meanwhile, I did a 38. Yeesh. Here comes, who's this? Is this Sainz up the inside? Trying to get Bottas and myself. Give him some room. Honestly, I might just let him go, because I'm not fighting him. He's in a much quicker car. Bottas going for a move as well. I just have no grip. No confidence, no engine, no brakes. We're out of the points. Like, this is a truly, truly horrible experience. This game is really bad. Tyre wear's an absolute joke as well. 1 lap, 15% wear on 1 lap. Yeah, that's normal. But anyway, enough complaining. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult not to, since this game is atrocious. Back to the actual point, which is the race. The Ferraris are just gone. They're in much quicker cars. Alex Albon right behind me, probably going to go for a move. By the way, what is that red bar on the overlay? I'm still trying to figure out what that is. I genuinely don't know. Alex Albon with a good exit on the soft tyre. He's going to probably go past. I have no ERS left. Valtteri Bottas as well with DRS. He's going to go to the outside, or the inside I should say. He's going to go for a move. I have managed to brake considerably later than him. In fact, I might be able to go for a move on Alex Albon here. Maybe. With the DRS. Go on. Swing it to the outside. Late on the brakes. Swoop around. Okay. That was a pretty good move. Bro, I'm not technically like intelligent enough to understand why my tyres are doing this. Why is my front left so much more worn than everything else? Like, how do I fix that? I genuinely have Oh my god, did you see that? It just went up 3% wear on one corner. Yeah, this game is an absolute joke. Right, so I've got no ERS to use because for some reason it doesn't charge. Alex Albon with DRS is going to go to the outside. Valtteri Bottas as well going to the outside. I've braked later once again, so we'll wheel to wheel with Albon. I've got the inside line and I've got DRS as I almost spin, but I don't. Bottas going for a move on Albon. I think he's going to get that done. Well done, Bobo. Oh no, hang on. Alex to the inside. Good bit of racing going on back here. The Ferrari's already built a 5-second gap to me. That is pretty crazy. Okay, what can Bottas do on this lap? Luckily for me, I've actually got some ERS to use this time. Here we go. Bottas going to the inside. Maybe he's going to go for a send. Yes, he is. Let's leave him some room. Now, he is going to have DRS on this next straight. But Alex Albon going for a move now as well. Alright, so it's been a few laps. Nothing has really happened at all, if I'm honest. Okay, but it is now lap 8, which means I will be pitting at the end of this lap. Now, can I defend from Alex Albon? Let's see. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Yes, I can. As you can see, the tyre wear is a bit on the ropes. 50% on the front left, but only 30% on the front right. Again, I'm not technically smart enough to understand why that's happening and how I can go about adapting and making that, like, not happen. So, we'll have to just live with it. And honestly, for a few laps, the gap to the Ferraris weren't actually increasing by much. Maybe, like, 1 or 2 tenths a lap. But, yeah, now my tyres are really on the ropes. Yeah, they're gone. Right, so round the final corner to embark on what is my very first pit stop in F124. Here we go. Boom. Lovely stuff. And I don't know what kind of tyre whisperers all the AI are, but you're telling me Alex Albon can stay out for another lap on the softs? That is crazy to me. Alright, into the pits. Oh. Okay, 2.4 is actually a very good pit stop time. That's actually extremely good. Well done, crew. Right, so we're now back on track. We have a 1.3 second gap back to an Alpine. However, we have an 8-second gap to the car ahead, which means I've got some lovely clean air to go for a little bit of an undercut on those cars I was fighting, Alex Albon, Valtteri Bottas, so I can cement myself in P11, but it's so difficult to, like, be consistent in this game. Like, the handling is so bad because the car changes every single corner. So it's almost impossible to be consistent, but I'm trying to stay positive, but it's really, really difficult when you got a game this shockingly bad. But anyway, lost half a second to Esteban Ocon behind, so that's always a positive sign. And look at my tyre wear through this corner. Let's see, is it going to do it? No! Wow, the tyre's actually held on that time, but still losing, you know, that's a second now. Jack in the pits. A second to the Alpine behind, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Jack doing in the pits, so is all of the cars that I was fighting. Where do I come out in comparison? I think I'm going to get out ahead, but not by much. And there they are. So the undercut has worked to a very small extent. Esteban Ocon is seriously cooking on these hard tyres. Like, he's quick. He's very quick in the tractor. Okay, down the main straight. Do I have the straight line speed to stay ahead of Esteban Ocon? Here he comes. He has got that DRS. And it seems like it's really weird. Like, these cars should be faster in a straight, as Esteban Ocon rear ends me, which is always not welcoming. Why has he done that? But yeah, it's weird. It's like the AI get close, but never actually go for an overtake. It's quite odd. Okay, so Yuki Tsunoda's going to pit and go onto the soft tyres. He is going to be very, very fast. But that does put me back up to where I was, which is P... Oh, never mind. I thought I was going to be in P11. Okay, so someone ahead hasn't pitted yet, or they've just got the greatest strategy in the history of Formula 1. Okay, so Daniel Ricciardo was the car yet to pit. He now has, so that is going to put me back to where I was, which was P11. What can Esteban Ocon do, though? He is going to go to the outside. However, I think I could just brake later. It's really weird why the AI never go for a dive bomb or overtake at all. It's very confusing, but I mean, I don't really mind. I'm happy with a P11, and you never know, if one of the top 10 have a little mechanical failure or spin off, that's a points finish on debut. Alright, so I don't even know how I've managed it, but I've somehow managed to set my personal best lap of this race on lap 14 out of 20 on medium used hards. How have I done that? I have no idea. We take those though. One thing that I've just noticed is on automatic gears, the car short shifts. Look at the bottom overlay. You see it gets like two shapes into the purple and then upshifts. Now the reason I use automatic gearboxes when I'm recording or streaming is just because of the noise it makes, but honestly I might have to consider switching to manual because I'm probably losing a very decent amount of lap time because of the amount of short shifts the car's doing. But anyway, we're on lap 14, about to start lap 15. We have 6 laps left on this opening race of the season. Let's see, will Ocon actually go for a move this time? No. Okay, nice. I'm going to outbrake myself a bit though, which could invite Ocon to go for a move. He decides against it. 4 laps remaining now. I know, 5 laps, sorry. And you know what? The lap times are semi-consistent, and realistically, I'm not really under any threat right now. Esteban Ocon just not really having the cojones to go for an overtake, even with DRS. Okay, everything seems to be boiling down a bit now. My gap behind is still, you know, like 3 tenths, but I literally don't feel pressured or under threat, like, at all. Esteban Ocon has not made a single slight overtake maneuver in these last, like, 10 laps since he's been behind me, and I'm not entirely sure why, but he just hasn't. And honestly, the gap behind, not behind, in front to the Ferraris is actually sort of staying the same. So yeah, honestly, I think it's just going to stay like this until the end, you know, just Esteban Ocon and a few cars behind him, just keeping close but not really making an impact. And then the gap in front sort of staying around that 10.5 second range. But honestly, this hard stint has been very, very good. Lap times are consistent. It feels, by this game's handling model standards, it actually feels alright. So, W all round. And of course, there are still 3 laps left, so we can still hope that one of the top 10 either crashes or has a mechanical failure, and maybe, with a little bit of fortune, we can get our first points of the season in the opening race of the season. What a turnout that would be. Okay, so we are beginning the penultimate lap of this race, and the lap times are still very, very good. Low 31s and high 32s is actually really, really strong. And like, if you look at the track map in the bottom left, I'm going to assume that's Max Verstappen is leading by a good 20 odd seconds at this stage, and then there is a massive fight for P2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11. And then there's a large gap back to me. That's hilarious. Right, around the final corner to begin the very final lap of this opening race of My Team Caribbean. Now, I've saved a lot of ERS from this lap. I'm going to absolutely dump it. And Esteban Ocon isn't going to be a threat down this first straight, but of course there is a second straight. I have gone a little bit wide, but that doesn't really matter, as long as I get a decent exit, which I have done. Stick to the inside and avoid the slipstream. Again, using all our ERS. Okay, lovely. Covered off. And honestly, there's only like one more passing opportunity at the very end of this race, at the very end of this lap. So I should be good until then. And then, with a bit of defensive driving, bit of positioning, bit of ERS usage, I should be good. There is still hope for one of the top 10 to, like, have their cars blow up or, like, they crash. We can still hope. Oh, no. I've gone too deep in that corner. I don't think it really matters much. I am away. And I'm actually pulling away a little bit. Now, what I want to see, is that actually the lead car? Oh, my God, it was. So Max Verstappen was actually about 20 seconds ahead of everyone else. At least they've got that part realistic, do you know what I mean? Anyway, focus on me now. Around the penultimate corner. And down the back straight. into the final corner. I've actually built a nice gap on Ocon on this final lap here. Get a nice exit. And that is the very first race of My Team Career Mode. And we come home in P11. Now, with all the complaints of this episode about the handling the tyres, I'm actually over the moon about that result. And I think the most important thing about today is that I got in Q3 with this car. Q3 in my opening debut qualifying session, and then I go and convert it to a P11. Now, yes, I did go back in the race, but to only drop one position and actually, you know, hold on to P11, that is extremely, extremely good. I am very happy about that, and I'm actually really, really happy about that hard stint. That hard stint was incredibly competitive. I am actually gassed about that. Like, that was good. Okay, so here's the race result. Max Verstappen goes from P3 to P1 and gets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 31.3, a dominant display by the three-time world champion. George Russell getting P2 and Lando Norris to top off the podium. Going down to where I was sitting, P11 from P10, I don't think that's too bad at all. And then Jack Doohan finished plumb last. That's actually really poor. He finished 9 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo, who was P21. But like I said, my hard stint was very competitive. We go to the race director and we look at my lap times on the hards. Look at that consistency. 32.8, so 4 tenths, 2 hundredths, a tenth, a tenth, a tenth, and then 4 hundredths. That is some insane, insane consistency, and I'm very, very pleased about it. So, that's going to be all from me for this opening round of My Team Career, but I'm going to try and get these videos out literally daily. Grind time is in full effect. As much as I hate this game already and the handling, I'm still going to play it because I feel like it. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!